In this video, I'm going to give you my honest review of the Tracy jacket by Minerva. So I probably won't be making this pattern again, but that doesn't mean it's a bad pattern. In fact, it's a very good pattern. So the purpose of this video is just to give you some pointers and tell you some of the problems that I had. And they weren't all to do with the pattern. Some of them were just, you know, when everything just goes wrong. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you some of the things, the difficulties that I had with this jacket, and that will help you to know if the pattern is right for you and if there's any areas of the pattern that you might look at altering. So I've been buying fabrics from Minerva for years, and I absolutely love the selection they've got online. I can't always find what I want locally, and they're a fantastic company with fantastic service. And recently they started doing their own range of patterns, and the first one I have tried is the Tracy jacket. And I actually bought a kit. I had the fabric already. Now, Minerva sewing pattern kits are fantastic. You can pretty much, you can swap in the fabric, swap in the pattern. If it's anything that you already have, you don't have to buy it. So I love that about them. What I will say, one criticism I have is they really need a properly dedicated place on their website. They've got a wonderful website, but they need a place on their website where you can actually see all of their patterns that are for kits and all of the fabric choices you can get, because it can be sort of, once a kit has sort of come and gone, you're almost hunting around the website for it. And I find this often on their website. I'll put things in search and I know they've got those things and they just don't come up. So one thing I would say to Minerva, if they ever listen to this video, which I doubt they will, is to have a dedicated page on their website just for kits. So you could say, Tracy jacket, this dress, this coat, whatever, and then you could click through and find the options for those, because it really is, like hunting a needle in a haystack to find some of the older kits that they've got on their site, which is a shame because it's such a fantastic idea. And I love the fact that you can swap in and out the amount of fabric or change the colour or whatever you want. It's absolutely fantastic. So I ordered this jacket sewing kit from Minerva about a year ago, and you will have noticed in my previous stash video that I very much regretted it, not because there's anything wrong with the pattern, but I was just like, oh no, I've got to make this. And you know what it's like, you have all these projects and I'm trying to take my stash down to zero because I just don't like having a backlog of projects. So I finally got round to starting this. Now, the Minerva patterns are, like some of their print-on-demand fabrics, quite expensive, but you do get your money's worth. And what you get with the Minerva patterns, and I've taken everything out and put it in folders as usual, you get a very hefty sewing guide here. So this sewing guide is very good, and for the most part I found it very, very comprehensive, and there was nothing missing. There was one area that I did have problems with, and there's one area that I had a trouble with the fit. So the problems with this jacket started long before I even started sewing it, and that is because I decided to get some white twill I had and dye it green, and I put too much fabric in the washing machine and it came out two different colours. But I thought to myself, well, that's okay, because I can get most of the jacket pieces out of one section, and then I'll do things like the facings in another colour, so because the greens weren't quite matching. Now, what I didn't realise, because I never read instructions, is that the facing was not a facing, it was actually a separate placket piece. So but then again, I thought to myself, look, as long as things match, as long as I've got the same on both sides, then we'll just go for a little bit of a rough and ready look, because in my head I had kind of a safari jacket idea, which is why I love khaki, so that's what I was going for. So I went through all of this. Now, there's only one part that I found really, really difficult to understand in the instructions. I've been sewing for years, and that is the collar, because the collar and the placket are sewn on separately. And I'm going to point the camera down actually and explain the issue I had with this. And I did actually have to do like a lot of hand sewing to reinforce this point, and it wasn't very clear in the pattern exactly how to get around this, so I'll show you that now. So let me show you the issue I had with the collar. Now, most of you know from my day job, I'm an artist, so I'm going to draw the problem I had. But first of all, let's have a look at the instructions. They look pretty detailed, but there's actually quite a lot of vagueness about where things need to be snipped. Clip the curves as needed to release the tension. And in one or two places, it'll just say, clip as needed. So you can see here the intersection of the collar and the placket. So here is aforementioned collar and placket. on both sides. You can see it's a bit scruffy on that side, and I've done a little bit of hand stitching underneath, and that's because there's an inherent weakness in this design. Now I have seen this design before, and it might be common in things like a poplin shirt, but for a jacket made of heavy fabric, or worse yet, something that is loose woven, I think this is rather tricky. So if I draw for you, so let's imagine we have the neckline here. This is the main body of the shirt, jacket I should say, and then we have the center front here. Now what we need to do is we need to, so if the seam allowance is around here, what we need to do is we need to attach a collar to this part, and we need to attach a placket to this part. So you can see the issue. This piece of fabric is being pulled this way and this way. So at some point, we're going to have to snip this here. And this is going to leave a very weak fraying edge here, particularly with such a heavy placket. I didn't like this. I found it quite tricky to, I must admit, I did not watch the sew along. Perhaps it's more carefully explained in the sew along. But in terms of the instructions here, though it looks very detailed, it's very vague about what needs snipping and where. And as I said, on both of these sides, I ended up doing a lot of reinforcing hand stitching there, so that this was sort of secured a little bit and wasn't able to pull too much on that corner where we had snipped into. And you can see it's not that neat underneath. And if this had been a fabric that frayed, I really don't know that it would withstand that constant pulling with snipping in to that corner. But it could be me. I could just have misunderstood the whole thing. Now let's talk about problems with actually sewing and fitting this. Now, one of the main things I had difficulty with was actually, because this is a twill, actually stitching through the amount of layers. The pockets, I think, are sort of double-faced. In other words, they're made from, just make them, turn them inside out and stitch them on. And lots of other people on the website who review this pattern have also mentioned that it's incredibly hard, even with, I've got a very good sewing machine, to get the needle through this amount of fabric. And I actually used thinner fabrics for things like the underneath of the collar, and I still had trouble. So that's something to watch. It's not explained very clearly in the booklet how to put the poppers on, because it has these nice poppers here, and you can buy kits of the poppers in different colours, so that's lovely. I do think that there is, I think there's a tutorial video, and I'm pretty sure there's a sew along too. So I can't really complain that that wasn't in the booklet. Ideally, I'd have liked that in the booklet, particularly because they are the ones that supply the poppers with the kit. So I could understand if you're just using anyone's poppers, they all work a little differently, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more guidance for those in the leaflet. But as I said, they do have sew along videos, and I'm pretty sure I watched one of the videos in order to figure out how to do the poppers, so that's fine too. Now, I had major problems with the sleeves. So this is an oversized jacket, but it does say that you can size down, and normally with a jacket, as long as it fits, your bust and your hips, you're going to be fine with the rest of it. And I didn't want an oversized jacket, so I sized down so it'd be a little bit more fitted. I'd just have a little bit of ease. My hips are quite narrow, my bust is quite large, so I knew that if I went via my bust measurement and looked at the ease on the pattern, I'd be fine, and that's what I did. I went down 2 sizes. These sizes they're not relative to 10s and 12s and numericals. I think they go from A to whatever. A lot of pattern companies do this so that you don't sort of feel this shame about being a bigger size and you thought you were, whatever. Anyway, I don't mind that too much. I do prefer actually to have dress sizes. It just gives me a little bit of a guide, but whatever. So I went down 2 sizes, and as expected, the body fit fine. And then it came to the sleeves, and I spent a lot of time making these nice sleeve cuffs, and I'll show you the cuffs here. I've still got some tacking thread in here and all of this going on. So I hadn't really done anything like this before. It was, and it's a 2-part sleeve, so it's quite good. But when I came to try the sleeve on, and these sleeves are not attached at the moment, I'll explain in a moment. When I came to try these sleeves on, that's where the problems came in. At first, I thought to myself, this is just too tight, it's never going to fit. And then I remembered that often you have to actually attach sleeves to the jacket before that you can actually be sure, because this has got drop shoulders. And then I started thinking, oh, it's okay actually, because I've got the dropped shoulders, I've got more room around the bicep than I would imagine. But actually, even allowing for that, I began to realise that these sleeves are just too narrow. I couldn't bend my elbow. It wasn't really the bicep that was the problem, it was the lower part of the sleeve. And I sort of started thinking, well, why is this? Now, I do a lot of exercise and I've got quite broad shoulders, but my arms are still, although muscular, they are quite slim, and certainly my forearms are tiny. I've got very, very small hands. I can't even buy rings most of the time because my fingers are so small. My wrists, they really are very small indeed. So if I show you, I think this is the size C, if I show you the cuff here, I don't know that I'm doing justice to just how tiny this is. I'll try and put some pictures up with measurements, but it's just very, very narrow. And so I went back to Minerva website and I had a look at people who had made it, and is it just me? Did I cut something wrong? When I had a look on the website, I found that people there, I mean, it obviously fit them, but the sleeves are very, very narrow, which did surprise me for a jacket of this style, which is meant to be oversized. I don't understand why the sleeves would be so narrow. So all of that said, it's not a bad pattern. Do be careful of that sleeve width and have a look at that before you cut it out. Now, for me personally, I won't be making this again. Now, I did salvage it, I did rescue it, and I'll show you, I'll put some footage in of me wearing it. What I did in the end was I bound the armholes and just made it sleeveless. Now, a friend of mine happened to pop round and I showed her what I'd made, and she said, "Oh, Michelle, it's really, really, really good work." She doesn't sew. She said, "It looks fantastic." She said, "But why on earth did you make that? It's not your style at all. It's like somebody who goes horse riding, or some country girl." I do live in the country, but I'm a townie at heart. And I thought, well, even my friend is saying that this is not really my style. Now, will I wear it? I do like layers in the autumn. I actually think I might wear it, but until it gets round to autumn and I'm putting it on over sweaters, I really can't tell if I will wear this again. Now, I probably won't make it again. And the reason is that it was a very, very involved make. And I found it to be a little bit more complex than it needed to be. And I've got two other jacket patterns which actually are very, very hackable. So the first one I've got is the, I believe it's the Downtown pattern by Pattern Emporium, which I've made once before. That's got much wider sleeves on, and it's not a dissimilar style to this one here. I've also got the Coda jacket from Love Notions, and that one too, although it's quite a different style, it's a padded jacket. I've seen people hack that into more of a short sort of casual jacket as well. So I really don't think I'll be making this pattern again from Minerva, but it hasn't put me off buying their other patterns. And it is a good pattern. Just have a look at the collar and also have a look at the width of the arms before you make it. Let me know in the comments if you've made this pattern. Remember to stay kind to yourself, stay kind to other people, and always stay kind to animals. Don't forget to subscribe. We don't only do sewing on this channel, but everything we do is fully approved by cats. It's incredibly hard to get cat approval because they're pretty grumpy animals, but this channel has managed it. I'll see you again very soon.